Kia ora koutou, Reese from QuickSense here, and in today's video we are looking at compound interest. So the way compound interest works is that when you make interest, you can make interest on interest you've previously made, okay? Or you owe money based on interest you haven't yet paid. So what does that mean? Well, this person's got a loan of $100, and 2 years later, they're wanting to know, right, how much extra or what do they owe for this loan. So what we do if it's 1 year, well, how do I add 12%? Well, for 1 year, so at the end of 1 year, adding a percentage, I times by 1.12, right? This comes from here. So I start with whatever the original was, and then I have the percentage. So I don't actually need a calculator for this. 12% of 100 is 12. So this becomes $112. But this isn't just for 1 year. This is 2 years. So at the start of the second year, I don't owe $100. I owe $112. Now the interest rate hasn't changed. It's still 1.12. And that is equal to, well, now I do need a calculator. So 112 times 1.12 is $125.44. An easy way to think about this, right? Because what I've done here is I've multiplied this number here by 1.12 2 times. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it's another way of writing this is 100 times, instead of writing 1.12 times 1.12, we're going to square it. And that's going to equal the output, right? How much money is extra? So the new amount. So if I start with my principal and I multiply it, right, by itself, 1 plus whatever the interest rate is, times the number of years. That's how I get my new amount. In this next question, Hone is borrowing from the bank, and it's a little bit unusual. Okay, so after 3 years, the interest rate actually reduces. So what I have to do is find do two separate compound interest calculations. So let's think back to this. Well, what's the formula, or what's the way we're going to think about this? What's my principal that I'm multiplying by 1 and the interest rate times the number of years, and that's going to equal my end result, my new amount. Okay, so let's do the first 3 years. Well, the principal here is 12,000. This is how much I start with. This is how much he's borrowed. And the interest rate, well, that's 8. So that's 1 plus 0, 8. And how many years? Well, 3 years here. So after 3 years, this is going to tell us how much he owes the bank. So 1.08 to the power of 3 is equal to 1.259. We're going to keep this. We're not going to simplify it or round it up yet. Times it by this number here. So after 3 years, Hone owes this much money. Now we are going to round. Okay. So with this number in mind, this is our new principal, right? So the new principal is 15,116.54. And we're dropping the interest rate to 3%. So it's 3%. And what will the amount payable to the bank be after a total of 5 years? Well, it's going to be an extra 2 years. We've already done 3 years. All right, so what's that equal to? Well, 116.54 times, let's put this into 1.03 squared, and that's equal to 16,000 $16,037 and rounding up to 14 cents.